Nico was a good brother. He enjoyed spending time with his sisters. Nico and Summer were very close because they were at home and they spent a lot of time watching movies and playing games. She was the little sister, always annoying her big brother, and he called her Monkey Girl, and he'd be flipping her and tossing her, and he just gave her a lot of attention. That day, Nico came in and he said, "Mom, Kory and I are just going to go up the road for a drive, but we'll be back." Guess I kind of dozed off that day. Nico and Kory were coming home. The boys were sober. The road was a straightaway. The impaired driver was completely on Nico and Kory's side of the road. And Kory tried to avoid the crash, but just when they were almost by him, he hit them. I woke up like a shot had went off. And I remember looking at the clock and seeing the time and thought it was kind of odd that they were not back yet. But when I came out into the kitchen, it came on the radio that there had been an accident in the Tracadie area. So at that point, I just grabbed my phone and I texted Nico and said, "Hey, where are you guys at?" And there was no reply. My heart sank. I just couldn't get it out of my mind that I just felt something wasn't right. He always texts me back. Kory was killed at the scene. His neck was broke, and Nico was pinned in the car. They had to use the jaws of life. He was crying in pain, hollering for Kory. Kory had his head on Nico's shoulder, and Nico didn't even know. He was just hollering for him. The first ambulance went by, and the second ambulance went by my house, and I thought, something's not, I want to go to the hospital. When I got in there, I went to the desk and a nurse came running down the hall. And it was just like something out of a movie. She was running and she's like, "You gotta come now, you gotta move, we gotta go." And they had decided to take him right to the OR. So I was running beside the stretcher the whole time telling them, "I'm here, I love you, stay strong, don't leave me." They lost him going to the operating room and they resuscitated him, brought him back, but by the time they opened him up, there was just too much damage. And he said, we had to call it. And I was just, "He's dead?" And he said, "Yes, I'm sorry." And it just, I died inside. I had the task of coming home and telling Summer that Nico would be coming home. And she was 7 years old and her little heart was so broken. The day of Nico's funeral was the day I found out that the driver that caused the crash was in fact impaired by drugs. He was old enough to know right from wrong, and he should never have been on the road. He killed 2 kids. Graduation, prom. It was so hard seeing them all, you know. He should have been there, and he wasn't. There's just so many things that I miss about him. So many.